हैन झुठो प्वाल that means a small micropore small kinabhane micropores will be formed. So once there will be micropore formation in the cell membrane of the fungus, what will happen? The intracellular ions, even amino acids, different vital metabolites, they will ooze out from this pore. There will be efflux, they will leak out from this pore. अब यो फाल बन्यो माइक्रोपोरबाट अब यो सेल भित्रको एकदमै चाहिने एसेन्शियल आयन्स अमिनो एसिड्स मेटाबोलाइट्स जुन नभइकन फंगस बाँच्दैन थियो फंगसको ग्रोथ हुँदैन थियो they will ooze out, they will be going out from this cell हैन बाहिर निस्किदिन्छ and the fungus will die or their growth will be inhibited. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so यहाँ सम्झिनु पर्दा यसरी सम्झिने. Okay, so when we talk about Pulin antibiotics, amphotericin B लाई सम्झिनु पर्यो सबैले. Amphotericin B भनेको प्रोटोटाइप ड्रग हैन. यसले के गर्दो रहेछ? Amphotericin B चाहिँ फंगलको सेल मेम्ब्रेनमा डिसल्भ भइदिन्छ. किनभने यो इर्गोस्टेरोल हुन्छ, इर्गोस्टेरोलमा बाइन्ड हुन्छ. इर्गोस्टेरोलमा बाइन्ड त हुन्छ, बाइन्ड भएर ढिक्का भएर बस्ने हैन कि इन्टिक्यालेसनहरु स्टार्ट हुन्छ. सेल मेम्ब्रेनहरु चेन्ज हुन्छ. जहाँ त्यो बाइन्ड भयो यो कार्टुनमा त्यही मात्र इन्डिकेट गर्न खोजेको कि ओरिएन्ट भइदिन्छ. ओरिएन्ट भएर अलाइन भइदिएर सानो माइक्रोपोरहरु दुलोहरु बनाइदिन्छ. And from there all the essential materials they will ooze out. Okay, सानो micropores form गर्छ. So just you have to remember like that. Okay, अनि मेनली के भनेको छ भने फेरि एकचोटी तिमीले टेक्स्ट बुक हेर्दा पनि देख्छु don't get confused or you don't need to write even when you give amphotericin B the molecule देखाएको जस्तो यहाँ स्लाइडमा देखाएको जस्तो the hydrophilic पार्टहरु चाहिँ पोर भित्र साइडमा हैन यहाँ भित्र फेस गर्छ हाइड्रोफोबिक चाहिँ बाहिर हैन किनभने त्यो फस्फोलिपिड बाइलेयर हो सो भित्र हाइड्रोफिलिक पार्ट चाहिँ फेस हुन्छ हाइड्रोफोबिक पार्ट चाहिँ लिपोफिलिक पार्ट चाहिँ बाहिर फेस हुन्छ लिपोफिलिक पार्ट हाइड्रोफिलिक यसले चाहिँ भित्र फाल बनाउँछ हैन लिपोफिलिक भयो भने फेरि निस्किन गाह्रो हुन्छ भनेर अनि यो फालबाट सबै बाहिर निस्किन्छ दैट क्यान बी cations ions जेसुकै होस् हैन अमिनो एसिड्स मेटाबोलाइट्स सो जुन पनि फंगसको ग्रोथको लागि चाहिने थियो or viable हुनको लागि चाहिएको थियो they will ooze out. So that is the basic concept here of the Pulin antibiotics regarding the mechanism of action. So how will we write? This is cell death हुन्छ भने. So how do we write? We can have a quick look here. So it dissolved in the cell membrane of fungi. अघि भनेको जस्तो सेल मेम्ब्रेनमा फंगाइको सेल मेम्ब्रेनमा डिसल्भ हुन्छ र कहाँ बाइन्ड हुन्छ इर्गोस्टेरोलमा बाइन्ड हुन्छ. So several molecules orient themselves in such a way to form a micropore. हैन गएर ब्लब भएर बस्ने हैन कि उनीहरु यसरी ओरिएन्ट भइदिन्छ कि छेउ लाग्दै गएको जस्तो सानो दुलोहरु माइक्रोपोर्सहरु फर्म गर्छ. है एम्फोटेरिसिन बी को मोलिक्युल्सहरुले एउटा माइक्रोपोर फर्म गर्छ र फर्स्ट कार्टुनमा जहाँ मैले टार्गेट where I showed that what can be the targets of antifungal drug त्यहाँ मैले पोले देखाएको छु. सो कुनैमा त्यसरी देखाएको छ हामीले अलिकति मोलिकुलर लेभलको कार्टुन बनाएर ट्राई गर्दा चाहिँ like the orientation of the amphotericin molecule will be in such a way that there will be micropore formation. And what will happen? Permeability of the ions, amino acids, metabolites will be high किनभने भित्र हाइड्रोफिलिक पार्ट फेस गरेको हुन्छ है त्यो बिर्से पनि हुन्छ तर कहीं देखिहाल्यो भने नआत्तिने and everything will be oozing out. Is that clear? So that's what you are supposed to know in Pulin antibiotic. Okay, so this is mechanism of action of amphotericin B and its analog. So amphotericin B prototype drug अघि पनि भनेको it is first isolated Pulin antibiotic, that's why we call it prototype drug. So it is actually the fermentation product of Streptomyces nodosus. Okay, this is the source of amphotericin B originally. So let's move on to its antifungal spectrum. Okay, so it is active against most yeasts and fungi. Yिनीहरुको अगेन्स्टमा एक्टिभ हुन्छ. The names are given over here. You don't need to worry about it. More or less from microbiology you will be knowing, but know that it is most active against yeast and fungi. And also it is active against various species of Leishmania. And there are various preparations of amphotericin B. The classic amphotericin B preparation, or amphotericin B deoxycholate formulation, which is actually a suspension dosage form for intravenous administration. Okay, this is cheaper than the newer formulation, which is classic one, just a simple suspension, which is meant to be administered intravenously. But it has certain limitations like serious toxic side effects. Okay, toxic effects are very, very prominent or significant with the suspension dosage form of amphotericin B deoxycholate. You can even forget this deoxycholate. It is like for stable form of the chemical component, salt form, acid form, the drugs will be in those form, and inside in the body, in the plasma, they will change. So main active component is this. So you don't need to worry. So what shall we do then if we don't have newer formulation? If it is very toxic, you can't use amphotericin B. So nowadays there are less toxic preparations available in the market. Okay, and they are very expensive actually. For example, the one is here, though the cartoon won't be coming in detail in your case, just I wanted to say that amphotericin B liposomal formulation is there. Liposome deliver gareko. Okay, and that is less toxic. So liposomal amphotericin B preparation is available. There is another preparation, amphotericin B colloidal dispersion in the colloids. They are dispersed, okay? Here, amphotericin B, the red one, they are dispersed in the colloids, just showing in cartoon, not coming out quite good, I think, if you are looking in mobile. And next is in the lipid complex, like the ribbon-like thing here. The lipid complex, the amphotericin B is incorporated. Toxic effect कम हुन्छ यसको amphotericin B lipid complex. So less toxic preparations of amphotericin B are available. So nowadays we are actually not using this suspension one because of this case. So you have to just be aware from now that, okay, it's not amphotericin B, it's not simple formulation you have, okay? You have to use very less toxic preparation, and they are advanced ones. You need monitoring, you will be knowing later as well. So there are various preparations available. You can go for any one of them. They can be liposomal amphotericin B colloidal dispersion, and amphotericin B lipid complex. Just have a concept of that, okay? You don't need the detailed formulation. And they are expensive as well. Coming to its pharmacokinetics, its absorption from the GI tract is negligible. So oral solution is not used, oral doses form, or orally it is actually not given. But sometimes it is used. Oral solution is used to decontaminate gut in intestinal candidiasis, because it will be used for topical purpose here actually. Just you like using for irrigation or disinfection, that will be given, and then that will be extracted out. We also discussed in routes of drug administration as well, in preparations as well previously, and that will be having few side effects. That is not meant for like systemic effect, okay? Very surfacely they are used sometimes. And only reliable method of administration is by intravenous route. It's widely distributed, however, it does not reach cerebrospinal fluid even if there is meningitis. Okay, even if the meninges are inflamed, it cannot penetrate the meninges. It cannot penetrate, or it cannot reach the cerebrospinal fluid. If we really want it to be treated in meningitis, or if we really need in meningitis, if we really need its concentration in CSF, it must be given intrathecally. Intrathecally it must be given intrathecally. The intravenous route would not be working in this case. It is metabolized in liver and excreted via bile as well as in urine. What are the therapeutic uses then? Definitely various fungal infections, mainly for invasive ones. Invasive fungal infection, okay, it is used. Systemic fungal infection ma use huँदो रहेछ amphotericin B. हामीले यहाँबाट के हामीले रुटबाट पनि गेस गर्न सक्छौँ. If it is given parenterally, especially intravenously or sometimes intrathecally whenever required, then definitely this drug will be kept for the invasive cases. अलि serious fungal infection, systemic infectionsहरूमा use गर्नको लागि राख्छ. So those can be oral, vaginal or cutaneous candidiasis and even otomycosis. Okay, so यस्तो पनि देखेको होला. If this is very serious, if topical one is not acting, if oral one is not acting, you will be knowing other drugs later. Here you can give, okay, यहाँ अरू क्यान्डिडियासिसहरू भएको छ र ओटोमाइकोसिस लङमा फंगल इन्फेक्सन भएको देखाएको छ. In the nail there is fungal infection. In serious cases, in invasive one, amphotericin B is used. Next is in cryptococcal meningitis. Okay, intrathecally it can be used. Mucormycosis, that means zygomycosis also, amphotericin B intravenously is used. And leishmaniasis, because it is also active against leishmania. So even in leishmaniasis, amphotericin B can be used. Again in hematopoietic block, I think you'll be taught about drugs used in leishmaniasis. And there also you will encounter this name, but you won't be taught in detail. Okay, you have to implement your knowledge, this knowledge there. Coming to its adverse effects, there is acute reaction which subsides later. Okay, after a few hours or few days, they can subside. So let's see what are they. Like when you administer amphotericin B intravenously, the patient can end up with chills, fever, aches, and pain all over the body, nausea, vomiting, dyspnea, which can last for a few hours, like 2 to 5 hours. Okay, but here you have to be aware that these are because of amphotericin B intravenous injection, and you have to wait and watch. It is not given like on its own, like you have to monitor, supervise the patient. The patient should be kept under observation while you give amphotericin B. And thrombophlebitis of the injected limb can occur, injected vein can occur. Okay, it's as usual with other drugs which is given intravenously. And we have to worry about long-term toxicities. So it is also a very good example of nephrotoxic drug. Like aminoglycoside, amphotericin B is also a very good example of nephrotoxic drug. In secondary in renal block, nephrotoxic drug ma pani timarle feri padcha yo kasari nephrotoxicity garaउँछ भनेर पनि. A few things it has been given. It is the most significant, clinically important delayed toxicity of amphotericin B. Okay, type D, adverse drug reaction. So what does it do? It will decrease glomerular filtration rate, GFR, glomerular filtration rate, sabaiलाई थाहा छ होला, azotemia, acidosis, hypokalemia. So these all are the symptoms of nephrotoxicity, or they lead to nephrotoxicity. Anemia can occur. CNS toxicity can occur when we give by intrathecal injection. The patient can end up with headache, vomiting, nerve palsies. Okay, so these are the adverse effects of amphotericin B. So you can categorize into two categories. One is acute reaction which subsides with time, but you have to monitor the patient. You can't leave the patient on her or his own. And long-term toxicity, very clinical important one you should not forget is nephrotoxicity. Coming to its drug interaction, with other nephrotoxic drug, it's better not to give amphotericin B. What are other nephrotoxic drugs? The examples, few examples, okay, there are many. Few examples are given here, in which one you definitely know is aminoglycosides, so you can remember it. Cyclosporine, foscarnet, pentamidine, they are nephrotoxic drugs. So along with them, if they are given, this is given, renal impairment may be very, very prominent. It will be high. With flucytosine, another antifungal drug. Okay, with flucytosine, when amphotericin B is given, there will be supraadditive effect. We are going to discuss about their supraadditive synergistic effect when we study flucytosine. If I forget, please remind me, or even you can understand there. Rifampin and minocycline. Okay, you know minocycline as well. You have heard about rifampin as well. Potentiate effect of amphotericin Okay, these are drug interactions of amphotericin B. So another Pauline antibiotics we have to talk about is nystatin. So we dealt with amphotericin B, a prototype drug, and another commonly used one, popular one clinically is nystatin, belonging to the same category, Pauline antibiotics. Similar to amphotericin B in antifungal and other properties. So mechanism of action is same. Okay. Therapeutic uses little bit different. Where do you use nystatin? Monilial vaginitis, oral candidiasis, corneal, conjunctival, and cutaneous candidiasis. Okay, so in this fungal infection, nystatin is used. And similar drug is hamycin, which is more water soluble and safe in infants and pregnancy. Nystatin is safe in infants and pregnancy, whereas amphotericin B is almost avoided actually because of nephrotoxic effect. Okay. Okay, that's all about Pauline antifungal or Pauline antibiotics. Please, yahasamma nabuzeko. So you can keep it very simple. First, have the knowledge of fungal cell. Okay, you don't need into detail like you did in microbiology, or microbiology must have taught it or will be teaching in detail, I don't know. So antifungal पढ्नको लागि फंगसमा के हुन्छ थाहा भयो भने it's very easy again है, यो अलिकति फेरि एन्टिब्याक्टेरियल भन्दा अलिकति कन्सेप्ट लिने अलि डिफरेन्ट तरिका भयो because it's cell membrane, cell wall, components are different, अनि ergosterol synthesis pathway को पनि अलिकति थाहा पाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ, and we are also moving on to their DNA synthesis pathway, but very in brief extent, whatever steps we need, we are just going to discuss them. Okay, with respect to drugs, with respect to pharmacology. So we just now finished dealing with Pauline antibiotics or Pauline antifungal, which got bound with ergosterol and formed the micropore, from which the essential ions, amino acids, metabolites of the fungal cell, they ooze out, their permeability increase, that means there will be efflux, and the cell will die depending upon concentration. They can be either fungistatic or fungicidal, or depending upon the fungus or microbes as well. Okay, here we dealt with two drugs, prototype amphotericin B, which is mainly reserved for the invasive mycosis, whereas there is another nystatin, which is used for less invasive conditions. We have seen them, what are the uses, but mechanism of action is again same. Okay, and we have talked about adverse effect regarding amphotericin B. I told you have to monitor the patient. The patient will be hospitalized. You won't be sending patient with amphotericin B treatment to the home because of several acute and long-term toxicities. Okay, the very clinically important one you have to monitor or look for is nephrotoxicity. So drug interactions with respect to that also we have seen, and precautions we knew, or whichever is safe, like nystatin is safe in infants and pregnancy, we knew that. So we know where to choose which one. Let's move on to echinocandins then, another antifungal drug. Okay, it is a new class of potent semi-synthetic antifungal agents. So its prototype drug is caspofungin. I don't know why I'm very fascinated with this name. Caspofungin कस्तो राम्रो लाग्छ के यो नेम, तिमीहरुले पनि राम्रो बनाएर राम्रो लगाएर आफूले सम्झिने caspofungin. It is a prototype drug of echinocandin group. It has got lower toxicity than that produced by amphotericin B, AMB. It is active mainly against, okay, it भन्दा पनि अब सबै echinocandins against Candida and Aspergillus. Okay, I'm again taking the same reference, same cartoon, okay? You might be finding very complicated one, detailed one, very nice one in Google. You can take any one of them, just take the concept, or you can draw on your own, okay? Either you draw in computer or you draw in your copies in your paper. So I told you that their cell membrane and cell wall structures, they are different. The components are different. So very quickly, not very quickly, we, to a certain extent, whatever we require, we have moved on to this. Amphotericin B, with respect to ergosterol, we have looked at them. Now we need rest of the things to understand mechanism of action of echinocandins. Okay, let me try then. Here, in the fungal cell wall, you can see protein, like in bacterial cell wall also there were protein. Okay, we talked about penicillin binding protein there. We talked about terminals there. Okay, so here there were protein. We are not going to what are they at the moment, but we need beta-glucans and chitin. Okay, so chitin is very important component of fungal cell wall. You know better than me with respect to microbiology maybe. And there is beta-glucan. So these are chitins and these are beta-glucan. So there is cross-linking between chitins and beta-glucan. Chitins and beta-glucan ko bichma cross-linking huँदो रहेछ fungal cell wall ma. Okay, and beta-glucan is synthesized with the help of enzyme beta-glucan synthase. यहाँ भित्रबाट synthesize हुँदै cell membrane मा के भन्ने अब यसलाई penetrate भएको छ हैन यो enzyme. So beta-glucan synthase with help in the synthesis of beta-glucans. बन्दै बन्दै जान्छ, and here the chain जस्तो देखेको छ, and there is cross linking between beta-glucan and chitin. Okay, chitin and beta-glucan को बीचमा cross linking छ. That cross linking is very very essential because that cross linking between beta-glucan and chitin gives the toughness to the fungal cell. यो सेल वाललाई टफ, रिजिड, बलियो बनाइदिन्छ, रोबस्ट बनाइदिने चाहिँ बीटा ग्लुकेन र काइटिनको क्रस लिंकिङले रहेछ. ओके, अब हामीले यसरी यो ड्रग दिनु पर्यो which can destroy that cross linking, which can destroy that, which can make the toughness weak. Okay, and those are, that is done by echinocandins. So here the names you require is beta-glucan, chitin. You have to understand, not so molecular level figure, not so molecular level cartoon here. You have to know that there will be cross-linking between them, and that gives toughness to the cell. That toughness should be weakened by echinocandin by acting on something, some component. And that's what we are going to see here. So echinocandins it won't let the synthesis of beta-glucan to happen by inhibiting the enzyme beta-glucan synthase. Echinocandins यति wise छ कि यति बाटो छ, it will inhibit the enzyme beta-glucan synthase, which is responsible for the synthesis of beta-glucan. So beta-glucans will be lacking, cross-linking will be lacking, cross-linking will be prohibited, inhibited, okay, and the toughness will be less, and the cell becomes weak and cell die, fungus can die. So this is basic mechanism of action, concept of how echinocandins are used, are effective in the fungal infection. Okay, echinocandins inhibit beta-glucan synthase enzyme, which is enzyme responsible for the synthesis of beta-glucan. Beta-glucan नै नभनेपछि त्यो chitinसँग that will be inhibited and the toughness cannot be maintained. That will be hampered, right? Like bar गरेको देखायो. So how would you write? Maybe I have included here beta-glucan भनेको beta-1,3 glucan. Okay, so echinocandins inhibit the synthesis of beta-1,3 glucan. You can just, this is full chemical name. You can just ignore 1,3. Beta-glucan मात्र भने पनि हुन्छ. कतै तिमीहरूले beta-1,3 glucan देख्यो भने, if you see beta-1,3 glucan, then don't get confused. That is full chemical name. Wherever the beta positioning have been made, you know the name, IUPAC name देखि के name छ हैन, हामीले बिर्सिन थाल्यो. So that has been given here. So you can just write beta-glucan, or if you like beta-1,3 glucan, whatever you write, it's fine. So inhibit the cross-linking between chitin and beta-1,3 glucan, due to which the fungal cell wall will be weakened. Because there is no cross-linking, means toughness will not be maintained, fungal cell wall will be weak, So that means weak भन्ने बित्तिकै osmotically it will be susceptible. फेरि यहाँबाट सबै essential materials, components निस्किन सक्छ. So this caused the disruption of the fungal cell wall. Okay? And cell death occurs, fungus will die. बुझिरहेछ है? Okay? So everybody please try to take the concept. The detailed cartoon I haven't given. Detailed cartoon चाहिँ मैले दिएको छैन. मैले simple नै लिइरहेको हुन्छ just to memorize or take the concept or visualize. Pharmacology मा अलि गाह्रो छ, anatomy हरुमा जस्तो हैन. देखिरहेको हुन्छ तै पनि त गाह्रो हुन्छ हैन. अब pharmacology मा देखेकै हुँदैन. गाह्रो definitely हुन्छ. हामीले आँखाले पनि देख्दैन. So it is very difficult actually. So the cartoons are also made in such a way. Right? So I prefer not to say figure or भन्नु मन लाग्दैन मलाई. I prefer to tell it's cartoon. A cartoon पनि molecular level हरुमा पनि हुन्छ. झन् confuse गर्न सक्छ. कसैलाई हेर्न मन लाग्छ भने there are very detailed cartoons in the internet, in the books. This one particularly I took from CATSM, so I have sticked on to that. अरु बुक्स मा पनि छ जसलाई जुन बुकमा हेर्दा सजिलो लाग्छ, जुन मटेरियलमा हेर्दा सजिलो लाग्छ, take the reliable and authentic one. You can take them. You can draw on your own. यति कल्पना गरेर ड्रा गर्न सक्छ. फार्माकोलोजी मा खास ड्रा पनि गर्नु पर्दैन. ड्रा गरेर बुझाउन सके पनि excellent हैन, above excellent हो त्यो. So you can do with any reference, right? So के सम्झिनु पर्यो भन्दाखेरि इकिनोक्यान्डिन्स they act on the cell wall. Cell wall level मा act गर्दो रहेछ. तर उले act गर्ने कहाँ त, what is the target site? One enzyme which cause synthesis, which is responsible for synthesis of one particular component of the cell wall of fungus. त्यसरी सम्झिनु पर्यो. Okay, so you have to remember one enzyme's name, beta-glucan synthase. 1,3 लाई भुलिदिए पनि फरक पर्दैन. So echinocandins inhibit the enzyme beta-glucan synthase, which is responsible for synthesis of beta-glucan or beta-1,3 glucan. Why is that important? Because that is required for fungal cells toughness, cell wall को toughness maintain गर्न. कसरी भन्दा beta-glucan and chitin हरु हुन्छ. त्यो त थाहा छ होला. Chitin and beta-glucan को cross linking भइरहेको हुन्छ. That cross linking make the cell robust हैन, एकदम integrated manner मा राख्ने, morphology maintain गर्ने, intact राख्ने, बलियो बनाएर राख्ने. अब जुन beta-glucan नै कम भयो, synthesize भएन भने cross linking won't be there. Fungal cell wall becomes weak, osmotically susceptible. त्यो दुलो पर्दै जान्छ, ooze out हुने, पछि हुँदै जान्छ, खास मर्छ हैन, ओइलाएर जान्छ. So it will be something like there will be disruption of the fungal cell wall and the cell will die. So that is about echinocandins we studied just now. Okay, so try to visualize, try to take the concept with any reference, okay, and write down the text. Write down the things. अलिकति केटी त्रिपाठीहरु हेर्दा अलि कन्फ्युज पनि हुन्छ होला डाइरेक्ट बुक हेर्दा. सो नोट भन्नाले अब यो ट्र्याकमा बसेर, मैले दिएको ट्र्याकमा बसेर तिमीले हेर्ने, पढ्ने, then that will become more than easier. Okay, so caspofungin prototype drug, don't forget the name. है यही क्लासबाट सम्झिदै जाने भने थिए. So what are the therapeutic uses then? In deep and invasive candidiasis, esophageal candidiasis, invasive aspergillosis, okay, as salvage therapy it is used. के salvage therapy के भनेर म भन्दिन, थाहा छ होला सायद. Please have एउटा तिमीहरुलाई homework. Salvage therapy भनेको के? Adverse effects: rashes, vomiting, dyspnea, hypokalemia, joint pain. Okay, these are the adverse effects of caspofungin. Okay, so this is about caspofungin. You have to know about it. Okay, salvage therapy चाहिँ एकचोटी हेर्नु भनेछ है मैले सबैले. नेक्स्ट क्लासमा एक दुई जनाले रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्नु. So have a go through salvage therapy. So next is heterocyclic benzofuran. है हामी एन्टिबायोटिक्स मै छौं अझ. एन्टिबायोटिक्स को दुईटा क्लास सिद्धियो. Okay, now we are on the third class, heterocyclic benzofuran. The example is Ricofulvin. You might have heard about its name. It is extracted from Penicillium cruciferum. It is fungistatic agent and effective topically. It is active against dermatophytes but not against candida and other fungi causing deep mycosis. So definitely here we can, now from here we can make out that this topical preparation will definitely won't be used for invasive mycosis. Okay, deep mycosis ma काम लाग्दैन रहेछ भनेर थाहा भयो. So only in dermatophytes, dermatophytosis, it is useful. So we are going to look at its therapeutic uses as well after mechanism of action. And it is very good example. I told you might have heard about it in basic concept as well, because you can now onwards, if you haven't remembered it, now onwards, please keep this in your head that it might have drug interaction with various other drug, because it is very good example of the cytochrome P450 inducer, liver enzyme inducer. Okay. So what will happen if this drug is given with others which are metabolized by this enzyme? You can guess. Coming to its mechanism of action now, the mechanism of action is very simple here. Okay, here griseofulvin, it is used topically mainly because it is highly concentrated or it accumulates in newly synthesized keratin containing tissue. Nail, hair, skin ma जहाँ keratin धेरै हुन्छ त्यहाँनिर यो धेरै accumulate हुनेछ newly synthesized मा अझ. Okay, so it is not good for penetration into the deep tissues. So it is accumulated in newly synthesized keratin containing tissues. So if the fungus invading is there, if there is fungal infection, what will happen? Griseofulvin inhibits the biosynthesis of microtubules of the fungal cell. You must be aware about microtubules. And microtubules भनेको के को लागि काम गर्छ सेल डिभिजनमा, माइटोसिसमा हुन्छ कि मियोसिसमा, you know that. So just remember, griseofulvin inhibits the biosynthesis of microtubules of the fungal cell. So what will happen? Spindle formation during cell division will stop. Spindle formation हुँदैन and fungal reproduction, mitosis will be stopped. Okay, let's have a quick look in the cartoon. So जुन यो हुनुपर्ने spindle formation को लागि microtubules हरु बन्नु पर्ने थियो, the microtubule formation will be stopped, will be inhibited with administration with available griseofulvin. Okay, griseofulvin ले mitosis formation हुन नदिने बित्तिकै spindle formation भएन, spindle formation हुने बित्तिकै mitosis भएन, mitosis which is fungal reproduction process that will stop. So it is fungistatic agent. And remember, griseofulvin is accumulated in newly synthesized keratin containing tissue, highly concentrated there. Okay, it is a topically useful antifungal drug. Coming to its pharmacokinetics, it has poor water solubility. Absorption from GIT varies with the type of preparation. यसको पनि different formulationहरु छ. Absorptionहरु फरक छ यदि GIT orally दिनु पर्यो भने, so more or less topical को लागि हो त्यो पनि. And it has got better absorption with fats. यो चाहिँ एकदम चिल्लो पदार्थसँग like अब चिल्लोसँग चीजहरुसँग दूधसँग खाऊ भनेर पनि भन्छ griseofulvin है, यो ओरल के भन्ने GI tract को antifungal effect को लागि. And it deposit, but it is not used too frequently. Deposit in keratin forming cells of skin, hair and nail. Okay, the fats सँग better absorption. Sometimes topically भने पनि यो दिनु चाहिँ like skin infection लाई try गरेको हुन्छ, but again it is more used topically भनेर बुझ्ने, मैले confuse पार्दै जस्तो लाग्यो. It is largely metabolized via liver by methylation process excreted in the urine. Okay, therapeutic uses dermatophytosis मा use हुन्छ. Okay, one of the example of dermatophytosis त्यस्तो देखिन्छ. Dermatophytosis it is used. Dermatophytes को against मा काम लाग्ने भएर. Adverse effects, headache, GI disturbances, they are common. CNS symptoms and peripheral neuritis are there, rashes, and it is one of the photosensitive drug, though it is occasional, but we have to take account of photosensitivity. Drug interactions with warfarin and oral contraceptive pills, there is drug interaction. Okay, grisophulvin can decrease their efficacy. Kinata? Why? Grisophulvin is liver enzyme inducer. Cytochrome P450 enzyme inducer, very good example of that, and they are highly metabolized by that enzyme. So if that enzyme is induced in the same therapeutic concentration, they will be metabolized more. So with the same therapeutic concentration, same therapeutic effect won't be same. You know, that their efficacy will decrease. Especially OCPs can, oral contraceptive pills, they can fail, and that is not good. Phenobarbital induces metabolism. Grisophulvin, it is also metabolized in liver. Phenobarbital can induce its metabolism. Okay, that's all about grisophulvin. Okay, we will stop. Let me see time. Okay, 10 o'clock. We will stop here. We finished antibiotic group of antifungal group of the drug, antifungal drug. So have a look in textbooks as well. And we will continue with the rest of them in next class. Okay? Any confusions? So three different we learned echinocandins के रे polines को हामीले अघि डिस्कस गर्यौं echinocandins को क्रॉस लिंकिङ बीटा ग्लुकेन र काइटिन को क्रॉस लिंकिङ इनिबिट गर्ने किनभने बीटा ग्लुकेन सिन्थेसाइज गर्न नदिने बीटा ग्लुकेन सिन्थेजलाई इनिबिट गरेर सेल चाहिँ टफ हुँदैन वीक भएर जान्छ ग्लिसोफल्विनले माइटोसिस हुन दिदैन किनभने यसले माइक्रोट्युब्युल्स फर्म हुन दिदैन जसले गर्दा स्पिन्डल फर्म हुँदैन र माइटोसिस रोक्छ माइटोसिस प्रोसेस फंगल reproduction रोक्छ so growth will be inhibited and uses an adverse effect. Okay, so with this we will stop and we will be moving on to antimetabolite flucytosine in next class. Okay, so have a good day. Thank you, ma'am. And we can discuss attendance राख्ने है attendance सबैले राख्ने attendance हजुर ma'am attendance चाहिँ class दिन अगाडि कम्पनी भएर गइराखेको देख्छु म maybe we are not giving break होला हैन so anyway that good day bye bye
bye bye ma'am
thank you ma'am
bye bye ma'am
bye bye